Welcome to the e-commerce funnel module. In this module, we're going to be looking at all the different pieces of your funnel and understanding how you can effectively map out your funnel and maximize different areas to convert as much of that traffic as you can, which these are visitors, right? These are people that are coming to your store once you start running ads, and you want to make sure you are converting as much of those people into buyers. And we're also going to look at a launch strategy as well, kind of bringing this all together. This is a really, really important module because after this is when we start getting into the marketing and the rest of, the Facebook and Instagram and Google stuff that you use to market your business. But if your funnel is broken, if you don't understand the steps of your funnel, if you don't understand how to maximize conversions, if you don't understand the customer journey through your e-commerce store, then these are all, it doesn't matter how good your marketing is if your funnel is broken, right? So it's really, really important to go through this and understand this. And some of it is really high level concepts, right? And some of it will be very practical, but I'm going to give you, everything that I've learned over the years, not only through my own experience, but in networking with others and studying other people and other stores to set you up for success as you move into launching and marketing your store and your products. First, I want to just look at a basic idea of what an e-commerce conversion funnel is, okay? Just to make sure we're on the same page, right? So at its very most general level, this is the concept of a funnel. You're going to have at the very top of the funnel is where people are seeing your ad and then clicking your ad if they like it, and then they're visiting your store, and then if they like what they see, they'll read thoroughly into the product, and then they will click the add to cart button, then they'll go to your cart page, and then they'll go to checkout, and then finally somebody can purchase. Those are the basic steps somebody has to walk through, the customer journey, right? And natural law of marketing is that obviously not 100% of people are going to come all the way through the funnel and make a purchase, right? That's just not possible, okay? So, it's just not going to happen, right? So you have natural drop off at each stage of your funnel. And the idea of a conversion funnel is that we want to make sure at each critical step, right, at each critical point where a prospect has to make a decision, where a visitor has to make a decision, we want to be encouraging them in the right decision that is moving them down the funnel into the purchase zone, right? That's the idea here, is we want to get as many maximum people as possible to move through this funnel and come out as a customer on the other side. All right, and there are specific steps that we can look at and at each part of that journey to optimize for as best performance as possible. Now here's your basic Shopify e-commerce funnel, okay? It's going to start out with your ad, right, that you're using wherever. This is going to be your traffic source, okay? Whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Google, YouTube, Pinterest, right? This is where this funnel begins with your actual advertisement that you are using to bring people into your store, okay? Generally, from your ad, they're going to land on some type of landing page or product page, okay? To keep it simple, right now we're just going to talk about it in terms of a product page on your store, right? So we've already gone through setting up, doing product research and setting up a product on your store and using the WeO app if you're drop shipping, right? So once you have actually run that ad and gotten an interest person to click, then they're going to land on your product page. Okay. From there, from the product page, if they like what they see, if the product page is demonstrating enough value to them, then they're going to click that add to cart button that's on the page, and that will take them to your cart page, right? And then they're at the cart page, and that's another important juncture because a lot of people will leave the cart page, right? A lot of people might click the add to cart button just to see what the cart page is going to look like or what type of information will be presented. So once they land on the cart page, that's another important step where you want to be optimizing your page as best as possible to get them to continue to the checkout page and then go through the checkout process and make a purchase. Those are the basic steps of a funnel, all right? It can get more complicated than that, but at this level of what we're trying to understand can accomplish here in this course. I just want you to understand the basics of each one. And the idea is each one is only responsible for getting somebody to the next level, right? So at each stage, when you're setting up your store, when you're setting up your ads, you're going to be testing at each stage. We're going to go through the fundamentals of what you should be doing ahead of time to try to optimize for the best results ahead of time before you start running traffic. But no matter what, it's important to understand that when you start running traffic with these ads here, right, the ad's only job is to get somebody to the products page. The products page only job is to get somebody to click the add to cart button and get them to the cart page. The cart page's only job is to get somebody to the checkout, and the checkout's only job is to make somebody purchase. Each one of those steps in a funnel has a specific mission, has a specific intention that it should be accomplishing. And so you're going to judge each step based on how well it performs that task, right? And so if your ad is working really well, but your product page, right? So your ad is working really well, but you notice people are going to your product page and then nobody's clicking add to cart and making it to your cart page. Well, that means obviously there's a problem here in your product page that you need to fix. It's not the ad's fault. The ad is already getting people to click, right? That's the only job of the ad. The ad's job is not to get people to purchase. The ad gets people to click and visit your store. If somebody is not adding the cart here, then you need to think about what you can do better on the product page, right? And then of course there are systems we set up as well to try to run more ads to bring people back to the product page once they leave. But overall, the intention here of this page is to get people here. If you have if your ad is working well, getting clicks, and you have people that are landing on your product page and clicking add to cart, but you notice you're not getting any purchases, well then maybe there's something wrong with your cart page, right? And so on and so forth. So it's important to understand that each step is part of the funnel, and at each part of that funnel, you want to be trying to optimize for the best possible performance of that one singular task at that part of the funnel. And when you're able to do that, and as you're running traffic, you work as you go, right? Because you're not going to know until you start running traffic. So you work as you go, you focus on one piece at a time until it's working, then you focus on the next piece until it's working, and then the next piece till it's working, until finally you end up with a full funnel that is running traffic through and converting at a good rate, of which you can scale and continue to make more money. Now there's a few things that are going to play a part in your actual funnel, and one of the most decisive things that's going to affect your funnel is what Shopify theme you choose, okay? Because your Shopify theme is going to affect things like the product page, the cart page. Generally, the checkout page is going to look the same for most Shopify stores, but you know, these are all going to be affected based on the theme you choose. So you definitely want to be aware that you should be looking for themes that, number one, fit the niche and the type of brand that you're trying to create, but you want your theme above all to be functional, okay? You want your theme, like, you don't want to try to be too crazy about this. Themes that are functional work really, really well. And there's certain elements you can look at on each part that we're going to talk about. Like we already did with the Shopify store section that I pointed out in a lot of areas of what you want to be looking at and what you want to be doing. But definitely be aware, you know, I'm not going to tell you what theme to choose. That's a decision you need to make that's best for your brand. I do have a recommended theme in here. The Booster theme is a really good e-commerce theme that is already pre-built for conversions. So that's the only one I'm going to recommend. As a free theme, I'll recommend Venture or Brooklyn. If you want to get a paid theme that is already out of the box, really optimized well for conversions, then I'll recommend the Booster theme. And there's a link for that, you know, within the resources section and within the Shopify part of the training where you can get access to that theme. Here we're looking at a basic product page, okay? And pointing out a few things, right? Number one, and this is on a laptop, and you're going to want to look at it on mobile too, and I think I have some mobile slides here. But so you're looking at a really good product image, right? And you have the Product title, price here with something on sale, big add to cart button. This is one of the most important things to distinguish right here, right? Big add to cart button that is like the color is in contrast to the rest of the page. It really stands out, right? Because that's where you want people to click. So you want the add to cart button to be big, bold, and bright because that's where people are supposed to click. And then you have trust badges underneath. I think this is my fault. I must have lost it when I brought the picture over, but you have these trust badges underneath, and then you have your product description. Okay. Now this is on a laptop again. Generally, we're going to look at mobile in a second, but here are some of the things, and we talked about some of this inside of the Shopify store setup already, but the idea here is optimizing this, okay, in the best ways possible. This is a great image because it's like an action style image, right? And that's a really good image to lead with. You can see the title here. This is a good title. It's descriptive, and they're using a brand, like they're making it seem very branded. Having something on sale is always good. I wouldn't suggest having every item in your store on sale because then it kind of loses its effect. And then I already pointed out these things and having a good product description. Once they're on the cart page, you can see that this cart page is set up in a way where there's a timer that comes up on top to kind of create some urgency of getting them to move forward to the next step. There's the checkout button. There's a button to pay with PayPal, and everything else is pretty straightforward. And then here's the checkout page. The checkout page on Shopify is standard unless you're using some sort of app to override the checkout page. But this is a pretty standard app where you want to make sure like you're including your logo up here. But there's not really much else that you can change here. So how to choose the right theme. Okay, we already talked a little bit about this. What kind of experience am I trying to create for my customer? These are the questions you want to ask yourself. What are the desired features you want on your store? Because different themes have different features. What are your competitors doing? Okay, remember in the market research module we looked at, you can look at your competitors' stores and find out what theme they're using. How do you want your products to be displayed? Different themes are going to set up products on the product page in different ways. Okay, and how many products, of course, because there's like one page themes that are great for one product stores, and then there's certain themes that are better for really big stores. So you want to think about that as well. And then finally, do you want a paid or a free theme? Again, I think that this is a free theme. Sugar and Cotton still uses a free theme, the Brooklyn theme, which is one of the ones I recommend. The other one is the Venture theme, so they both work. But paid themes are nice because paid themes come like with the more optimization, plus they're a little bit different. You know, like you gotta think about everybody using the same free theme starts to create a lot of stores that look the same. So with a paid theme, there's a little bit more of a branding element there, I think, because not as many people are using it, right? And generally they come with more out of the box features and things that you can use to customize the experience on your store. Now, like I said, we really want to think about how everything looks on mobile. Shopify does easily let you switch in between mobile and desktop views when you're browsing themes. So you can, as you already saw in the Shopify store setup module, you can customize your theme while looking at it on mobile by switching back and forth. But definitely remember that 90% of traffic starts out on mobile. So don't just be looking at because you're going to be designing your theme on your desktop more than likely if you're designing your own store on your laptop or your desktop. And sometimes people get in this mode where they forget to switch over and look at it on mobile. But you should be designing it, switching back and forth between mobile and desktop as you're designing it, and then also have your phone right next to you and be loading your site and looking at your site on mobile as you build it to make sure that everything looks good on mobile, right? Because that's going to be really important. So if you look at Sugar and Cotton on mobile, this is what you get, okay? And it actually looks a lot different, right? Here's okay, so just going through and kind of pointing out what I think they're doing well and why I'm using them as an example, and their numbers back it up because they do very well in sales. you see number one, a nice clean header. Okay, their logo fits right in the middle. It's not too wide of a header. Menu over here, search button, and cart. Having a search button is nice because people like to search. If you look at all the best e-commerce stores out there right now, the biggest ones, generally most of them have some type of search. It's just a nice element to have. It kind of brings a little bit more of an established feel to your store. Nice big image. There's not too much to say about that other than, you know, you want your image to basically look like this, and you can see the title above the fold. Right, so this is above the fold, meaning that before I scroll down at all, this is what you see on my screen. So that's good. It's amazing if you can see the price as well, but a lot of times it's too much because, you know, you have this up top as well. So this is good because you can see a really great picture. You can see the title of the product as well. And then when you scroll down, you see the price. It's in PHP because I'm in the Philippines a lot, and that's where I was browsing this site when I took the picture. Free shipping. This is a fantastic thing. Now, if you don't offer free shipping, obviously you can't use this, but this is really nice that they put that in there because it's letting people know, like, before they even get to the cart page, that this item has free shipping. So it's already setting that expectation and can help increase conversions all the way through. We already talked about the add to cart button and the trust badges here. These trust badges are great because of exactly how they sound. They encourage more trust in the site by saying things like free shipping and money back guarantee, or having, you know, the major credit card symbols in PayPal here to let them know that your major credit cards are accepted. Countdown timer. I don't always recommend this, okay? If you're running like a sale or promotion, they have apps for this. It's very easy to install. Countdown timer is like, it's part of the app that I showed you as well, the Vitals app. But again, it's all going to be to your preference. I wouldn't overuse it because I think it becomes a little bit, seems like kind of a scammy type of deal. If you're overusing it, devalues the site a little bit. But definitely, if you are really having a sale and you are really creating some urgency there for real, then I think it can be a powerful thing to use. Now over to the cart page and checkout page. Again, the same elements are present here, but it just it looks different. You want to see how it looks on mobile, and now you can see why they have these buttons up top instead of at the bottom, because on mobile this is what people see first. So the idea is that you want to get them to click that without having to scroll to the bottom. So that's why they have these buttons up top, right underneath the, again, more urgency, right underneath this message saying your items in cart are high demand, your cart expires in 25 minutes. Now here it says shipping taxes calculated checkout, but we already know it's free shipping from the page before, so that's not really going to deter people from moving forward. And then here on the cart page or on the checkout page is where you get your order summary, a button to check out with PayPal, and then you would go down through the order process. I would go to Shopify and start browsing some of the themes if you haven't done this already. And again, I've already talked about the different themes you can see in there between paid and free. And again, the paid theme that I recommend for like your basic general stores, niche stores, dropship stores, print-on-demand stores is the booster theme. I think it works really well, comes with a lot of great out-of-the-box features. But some of these themes in here can offer you more niche, more like, I guess, more personalized type themes that might fit your store better based on whatever type of look you're going for or what type of niche you might be going for. So definitely browse around the Shopify theme store as well. And here's an example, okay? If you see the grid theme here, you can come in here and you can click to preview the theme, and Shopify will open this up with your content, and you'll be able to switch between the styles, see it on both desktop and mobile before you ever install it. The UPSELL e-commerce funnel. Okay, I want to mention this briefly. Again, this is more of an introductory video here to give you a high-level overview of what an e-commerce funnel is. So here you're looking at adding an upsell, and there's a few places that you can do that, but you definitely, once you have traffic running and you start getting sales, you definitely want to include some type of upsell, because that's what's going to increase your average order value. That's what's going to help you make more money, right? So on the product page, there are places you can do upsells by creating bundle offers or even a pop-up. I don't recommend the pop-up upsell, which would be something like if somebody clicks add to cart, then they get a pop-up screen that says add one more for 50% off. I don't recommend that because it takes away from the experience, right? What a funnel is all about is creating as little friction as possible to get people to go through and actually make a purchase from start to finish, right? On the cart page is another place you can include an upsell. It's an inline upsell is when, so an inline upsell would be like right here at the very top, in line with the checkout and PayPal button, you would see like an upsell offer where all they had to click is to add the item to cart. It can work well because it doesn't really take away from the experience. Like, it's in line, it's not a pop-up, it doesn't force them to go to a new page or deviate from what they're already doing. All they have to do is click the button and it will automatically add it to cart for them since they're on the cart page already. So that can work well. Again, I don't recommend pop-ups. I just have it listed there because it is something that you can do. And then finally, the after purchase upsell. This is what I believe is the best, and I think most people will agree with me on that, because once they've already purchased, two things. Number one, you're not going to lose their business, right? With every other upsell, you risk the chance of losing their business because you're upselling them before they even made a purchase, right? So it might turn them off, it might create too much friction, might cause them to leave. And number two is because of the age-old saying that a buyer is a buyer, right? So when you have somebody in a buying moment and you have them already committed and having just purchased something, that's the best time to hit them with an upsell. All right, that's why you see this implemented at retail stores everywhere, all over the world. They try to upsell you things when you're there paying, or even, you know, when you just get done buying a service or something. Like, if I just spent $100 on something and you tell me, you know, for $10 more I could have this, and I feel like whatever it is that you're offering really helps complete the offer, is really something that's a great offer, and it's like, yeah, man, that's I want that, right? Then it makes a lot of sense. Okay, if I buy, for example, I just spent $150 on a pair of sneakers, okay? And you see this at retail stores like Foot Locker all the time. I just spent $150 on a pair of sneakers. All right, and they're a nice pair of sneakers. They're white. They're sneakers that I like and I can't wait to wear, and I want to keep them nice, okay? And I just got done spending all this money. So if you offer me an upsell for $7 to buy a can of sneaker protectant, then I'm much more likely to buy that, right? Because I just spent $150 on a pair of sneakers. I'm already spending money. I like my sneakers. I want to protect them. I'm in the buying mode already. And then especially if you can make it super simple where all I have to do is say, yeah, add it to the order, then like done deal, right? And so that's the idea of hitting somebody with an upsell at the right time. Now, an example of what that would look like, this is a more complicated example, and they call it order form and this and that. But basically, you know, this is the checkout page, right? This is the product page. This is an image borrowed from ClickFunnels, so that's worded a little different, but it works the same for Shopify. Okay, this is your product page. They go through to the cart page and they decide to make a purchase, and then boom, you hit them with an upsell after they just made that purchase. Okay, you could even hit them with a second upsell. You could even offer a downsell, which might mean something like this. Okay, they come through, they buy a hoodie, boom, upsell. Would you like to get the other two hoodies in this set for 50% off? Okay, yes, we would. Okay, cool. Would you also like to get this t-shirt that matches? Oh, no, thank you. Wait a minute. Save $10 and you can get it now for an additional $10 off. Oh, really? Okay, that's awesome. Let me do that. And then back up. Thank you. They're done. Okay, this strategy works so effectively well, even if you know it's coming, and it can work well if it's a product you really want. Like, people do this in info marketing all the time, right? You'll buy one thing, a product that you really wanted and it seems really good, and then as soon as you're done that purchase, you get hit with an upsell, and now you're thinking like, oh man, like, I just got done spending this money, and this upsell makes this product seem so much more complete and so much better, so okay, I want this. And then they'll try to hit you with another upsell, and you're in that buying mode, but maybe you're like, you know what, I just don't feel like spending the extra $70. So you say, no thanks, I'll pass. But then immediately, right away, they hit you an offer and say, okay, what if we give it to you for $20 less? Get it for $50 now. And because you just saw it for $70, you're thinking, wow, that's okay. That's a deal. I guess I will get it because I probably won't see that offer again. And the psychology works really well when you set it up this way. Now, I want to mention that there are a couple upsell e-commerce apps out there. You can go to the sales and conversion category on the App Store, and there's upselling and cross-selling apps there. It's already included in the Vitals app. They have this upsell stuff right within the Vitals app that you saw, the one that I recommend, the 40-in-1 app for Shopify stores. But really, when it comes to the upsell e-commerce funnel, there's only two that do it really well. There's CartHook, which is a fully integrated funnel that can override your checkout page and everything. And then there's Zipify, and Zipify tends to be the most favorite. It's called One-Click Upsell, and the one-click upsell is exactly how it sounds. It integrates with your store so that as soon as somebody makes a purchase, they can be taken to a new offer, and if they want to purchase that new offer, all they have to do is click, I would like to get it, and it's going to charge their card again. They don't have to re-enter their information, okay? They don't have to do anything really except say, yes, I would like this, and they click the button, and they instantly get charged because the credit card information is already on file from the purchase they just made, right? So that is a really effective, powerful app. I think there'll be a link in here to check it out. It's like $47.50. No, it's more than that actually. It might be like $67 a month. But it's really good, and it can help you make so much money that it's worth it, and it's generally considered the best upsell app that's out there right now. But there's also, I want to mention that there are options, and there is something that, depending on when you watch this video, I'm releasing something as well as a partnership with some people that is like a combination of Zipify and CartHook, right? It's like putting the two of them together and making it so much better to create a completely integrated checkout experience that is going to make your funnel so much better and convert so much stronger. So that's something that if it is out already, there will be a link under this video. If not, keep your eyes out for that, because we're talking about something that's going to help your funnel convert better through the cart and checkout page, and then also give you a great upsell option that integrates smoothly with all of your existing payment providers. Okay, so it's something really powerful when you have an upsell e-commerce funnel implemented. This is what it would look like, right? You have your custom upsell after they make the purchase. You can downsell them if you want, and then this is just helping you increase your revenue, right? Because it's already a buyer, you're just adding money. Now, when we talk about optimizing specific pages, all right, these are some things to consider on your product page. I already covered some of this stuff, so I'm not going to go through everything in depth, but just look through these points here and consider your mobile page. How does everything look on, or consider your product page, but I mean, one of the first things is consider mobile, right? How does everything look on mobile? How big is your header? Sometimes on mobile, people have headers that are way too big, or they'll have a logo that looks way too small inside their header. You want it to look clean and even with a nice formatted logo like we saw in the sugar and cotton example. You want to see the image and the title of the product above the fold, which is another reason why how big the header is matters. And of course you want it to load quickly. That's on desktop and mobile. There's something called Google Page Speed Insights. If you don't know how to check the load speed of your store, you can go to Google Page Speed Insights and it'll give you a grade. And if your grade is really bad and it's really slow, then you need to figure out what's causing that so you can increase the speed of your store. Because out of the box, Shopify stores come loading quickly, right? So if you install a bad theme or if you install the wrong apps or way too many apps, then that can be a deterrent, which is why I like the Vitals 40-in-1 app, because it's not going to slow down your store, but it still gives you the functionality of all these apps that are the most popular common apps on Shopify. Using trust badges, right? We talked about that. Don't overdo it with the trust badge, right? You don't want to do something that looks too ridiculous, but there's a lot of good trust badges out there. Again, we covered this already in the Shopify section. Including reviews and testimonials on the product page can be a big bonus, right? It can really help a lot, because when you do that, you create social proof, and then that social proof makes people much more likely to trust purchasing from your store. Right? Benefit-driven product descriptions. This matters, all right? A lot of people just, some people just copy and paste directly what's right out of AliExpress, which I think is a horrible idea. You want to be able to think about your product in a unique way and create a unique product description that is benefit-driven, right? Meaning you don't just list out the features and say, oh, this is a gold watch with 18-karat gold and a diamond quartz timepiece. You want to say something like, this beautiful gold watch is handcrafted from 18-karat gold to give you a fine, exquisite look while you're wearing it. Something like that, right? It's much more benefit driven. It's the same features that we're talking about, but you're writing it in a way that makes people understand the benefit to them as a customer. Include risk reversal elements. These are things like your 30-day guarantee, your free returns, your easy hassle or your easy no hassle returns, right? You want to be able to see these kinds of things somewhere on the product page. Consider a sticky add to cart button. What a sticky add to cart button is an app you install that makes it so that when they scroll on the page, they'll always be able to see the add to cart button. It's like as soon as they scroll below it, it'll stick there, and so they'll always be able to add the cart without scrolling back up. And it actually works really well. That's why I say you should consider it, because it will increase your add to cart percentage. Consider the color of your add to cart button, right? You want it to be a high contrast color to the rest of the page, using colors like red, yellow, blue, green. Like, these are all good colors you can use. Include videos and images in the product description, and have related items, most popular items, recently viewed items underneath, right? And there's apps that do that, like LimeSpot. So I'll have all my app recommendations underneath the video, just like they are in the resources section. But you want to use LimeSpot or something similar for being able to have like related items, most popular items, that kind of thing. Now, optimizing your cart page. Okay, so the cart page is also a place that can have major drop-off if you're not optimizing it the right way. And here's an example of one on mobile, including the trust badges, even on mobile. Now, you don't see any really here, but they do have, if you were to scroll down, you would see like the trust badges that you can put here. And if you get a theme like the booster theme, it comes pre-built into the theme automatically anyway. You could include reviews and testimonials, like right in this area. Risk reversal elements, that's this made in USA, GMO free. You can have this kind of stuff as well, benefits of buying, return policy, contact info. You would see this if you scroll down, okay? Consider the checkout twice. They are using 2-button checkout here, which can be clever because if their phone screen is small and it only loads up one on top to begin with, it means they don't have to scroll down to actually go through the process of buying that item. And then consider using a discount code. This is something that can work well. You can give people discounts and make sure, like you could give somebody a discount right on the cart page itself to try to help convince them of going through the funnel and making the purchase. Excuse me. Okay, optimizing your store homepage. Your store homepage is not really like a direct source of revenue. Most people running ads are going to run them to the product page, and you're probably not going to get as much visitors to your homepage, but some people will check it out. And so these are some things that you can use to help increase overall credibility and conversions. Number one is strong header with bright high-res images that have call to action for your store. Including a phone number or some type of contact information goes a long way as well. Including testimonials and reviews. Oh, okay. The fill page with most popular products, I know what that is. That's where you, on your homepage, you can display your most popular products to try to turn your homepage into like a product page almost, right? You're trying to redirect them to products from the homepage. The homepage's purpose should be to sell, okay? So you want to take whatever measures you can to sell through the homepage. Create a message that has an attitude that will appeal to your audience. Talk about your company and the benefits of shopping with your store. Having an exit intent pop-up is great. That way if somebody goes to leave your site, you might still be able to capture their email. And then footer with as much information as possible, including visible contact info. Your store about us page. I'm not going to go too much into this because you can look up examples and I have some tips here, but basically with your store about us page, this is the second most visited page on any website, alright? So you want to do a good job on the about us page. Use a headline or tagline. That's going to spice it up a little bit, even though there's not one in the example picture down there, right? Like you still having a headline can be a really good thing because it creates more of a story element. Images that have meaning to your brand, creating a story that connects with your audience, make it about your customer care, explain the benefits of shopping with your store, and then have some sort of call to action, which is usually like the checkout button. And then finally, this is just something I wanted to give you as a bunch of great store examples, right? Shopify.com/blog/Shopify-stores. If you go here, you'll see a lot of inspiration, different types of stores, different types of layout, different types of things they're doing. Okay, and you can pick which one makes the most sense for you, but there are multiple options here, right? And so this is a good place to go to get inspiration and see what's working for other people and what's out there. And you can even open their sites, and then if you open their site, remember now we're in market intelligence mode, okay? So we identified somebody that looks like a competitor. We can come to SimilarWeb, see that it's tough to tell if they're really even getting traffic. So I'm probably not going to follow them. Let's see about this one. Okay, so here's their store. We looked at this as an earlier example. It's taking a long time to load. But you can come here and use them as an example of how they've set things up and how their funnel works from step to step. Okay, in the next video, we're going to start talking about how you can focus on different areas of your funnel to maximize for conversions. So I'll see you in the next video.